Always that one, right? Always that one. I remember when we used to, just random, shuffle.
Go ahead.
Hey
guys, everybody hold on a second.
For everybody that has not been at this table already, it's a giant computer that looks like a.
All right, lines are still 5-1 or 5-10.
No food on the table. If you need to eat or drink, go back behind here.
Heidi's making some announcements again to the feature table here.
No phones, no electronics.
Down to
no
26
devices,
players.
any of that
We did
sort.
lose someone
Again, back
right
behind
before
the
we
table or back behind the
stopped.
computer. Cameras. There we go. When you get your cards,
Again, we
make sure
ping
they
top
stay in the box
15.
for about 5-10 seconds. They can stay on top of each other. That is ideal. Just put them in the box right away, leave them there for 5, 10, 15 seconds, and then you can go ahead and move them. If I need you to, I will ask you to move them out
Just a
of the
little bit
box,
longer, guys.
and then just put them back in.
On top of each other is okay?
On top is fine.
On top is fine.
6 is a blank. Don't use it. And
Looks like average sacks about 195.
She didn't say anything about
We will not redraw it. Tables.
the dealer. She said nothing against that.
Ready?
you can berate them all
All
you
right.
want. I don't care.
Go ahead, shuffle up and deal.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
They'll let you know.
We'll let you know. In a play, right? 4 folds. 5 folds. 7 folds. 8, 9 folds. 10 fold. 1 fold. 2 call. Three checks. Two bets 10. 3 folds.
I did have the 2020 in farthest.
Come on in. How are you doing, Dallas?
Good.
We are live. We are on a 15-minute delay. We just got down to 27 players and did a full table redraw. And so I'm happy to have you in the commentators booth.
Thank you. It's nice to be on the other side of things.
Yes, it's so fun. So say hi to the crowd. This
Hey,
is
guys.
Dallas DeWitt. Her husband's Eric in the 3 seat.
Even awake, so
It's awesome to see all this stuff.
Take just a minute to familiarize your stuff. You can see everybody's cards. It shows here what seat they are in. It shows here what position they are in, their chip count. The action is on the person who's indented. So Craig just raised to 25,000 with the king, queen suited. Under the gun +1. Action's on Graham
8 calls.
with ace jack, so he called. I'll let you take over while
10 folds. 1 fold. 2 folds.
Two in the small blind. We're hoping he folds, but
3 folds.
there we go.
4 folds.
he thought about it, huh?
Yeah.
2 players.
Yeah, we have to make sure we speak loud enough so that people at home can see.
Okay.
This little green thing there should be about 3/4 or halfway. Like it should bounce up there. If we're back here, we can't hear us.
Right.
Complain.
30.
So there we go.
Looks like we have a call.
8 folds.
Ooh, and Craig followed up with some aggression and takes it down. And now we have Kramer in the booth. This is excellent. Now I can actually stand up and let you guys take over. You guys talk? That's perfect.
Chit chat.
Welcome to the group here, Kramer.
Yeah, I made some people's day end, so I figured I'd come in here for a little while, make sure I don't get mugged out there.
Right. Let me know when it's available to share, and I'll go out there and share it for everyone.
About 15 minutes.
So yeah, just broke down to 3 tables, redraw.
27 players left. 15 make money.
26 actually. We lost somebody
Right
right before break, so we're down to 26.
10 folds.
Alright. Looks like
Josh Hagen back at the feature table from last night. Eric DeWitt, okay.
It's going to be all familiar faces
One
now.
fold,
It's,
2 folds.
we've had so many featured We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Three
6,
bets, 30.
7, 8.
4
We've had 8 feature tables in the 3 flights and then 2 this morning. So most of these guys,
30.
more likely than not, they have had a chance to be
Right.
here.
Well, that's kind of what we talked about yesterday, right? It was kind of nice doing that many streams, and
Yes.
you kind of get a storyline. So somebody, if you've been watching all the streams, you've kind of seen some of them play before, and like, oh, he's back here, and he chipped up or
Check.
he chipped down, and whichever the case might be. So it provides a nice little storyline.
Super fun.
Action was here, 5 checks. 6 checks, 1 check, whatever not checks.
Queen high flop, ace
5 checks.
4.
Looks like Eric's gonna take a
3
stab
bets.
at it. Bet quite a bit. Okay.
5.
See what he's gonna do. He should fold.
5 folds.
Yeah, Eric
He
leads up
does.
for 35. Easy fold for Mark. A little quieter outside the door tonight than it was last night, or today than it was last night.
Yeah. We had those survivors running last night. It got super loud.
Did you get caught up in any of the rowdiness after shutdown?
I did not. I vacated the premises. About 1 o'clock, I went to the bar. I got the last pulled pork Sammy,
Ah, there you go.
and went back to my room, finished up some paperwork I had to do, and went to bed.
That's the way to do it. So we lost a couple people. I saw Adam. Adam is at the first feature table today. Adam Lasky,
Right.
a
Ten
friend of
fold.
mine. I was looking on the room. I didn't see his face
One
anymore,
fold.
so I think we know the results. I
raises,
can
20.
put the pieces together.
He was here.
folds,
He's
4
not here.
folds.
Something happened.
Yeah, probably less happy than he was, before he.
Well, I think we should thank
5
some of our
folds.
sponsors for putting on this 3-day tournament. It definitely wouldn't be possible without them. We have Randy's Diner, Heidi Roggenkamp, who's actually playing in a bounty tournament currently. We
7
have Heavenly
folds.
Hogs. I don't see Thane here, but he was here yesterday. Tax Lady, Jennifer, I don't want to say that, Spice. Mandak
Jack.
Gold, Jack Seaman?
Yep, Jack Seaman.
Red River Poker Championship, and the Knickerbocker
fold.
Liquor Locker.
Mike Bice.
Yeah, we do have some extra tournaments coming up. You guys want to check out 701 Poker Tour? Is that what it is on Facebook?
Yep.
You can click events and see any current events that's going to be coming up. Looks like April 10th, there's a Fool's Gold tournament at the Knickerbocker Liquor Locker. We have March 20th and 21st, the 701 at Cobblestone Devil's Lake. That one's $1 million
That's
chip.
the $1 million tournament, correct?
So that one's going to be fun to play. Lions, Tigers, and Pairs at Wapaton Community Center. There's 3 separate events for that, 17th, 18th, and 19th of April. And then we have the Hardwood Accumulator in March 26th, 27th, 28th.
Love that tournament.
Yeah, so a lot of 3-day events. There's also events that happen here if you bust out on the main tournament. We have some
Survivors rolling.
and some bounty tournaments. So there's always something to do, and just catching up with 90 to 100 best friends you have in poker. Your friends till you beat them, but it looks like Craig Gray has Ace Jack and Chris
Yeah, Chris
Cadillac.
Cadillac with King Queen had opened for 30, and it's on Craig here to make a call, or maybe
8 folds.
Okay, I'm just gonna open fold to Ace Jack. Strong
Wow.
hand.
Yeah. So we had 207 entries, and we had 2 people that qualified, double qualified for the championship today. One was my husband Eric DeWitt, so shout out to him. And do you know the other one? Kramer?
I don't know the other gentleman, but I think it was a bigger stack. To be honest, I think he got like $400 or something.
Yeah, Eric got 319, and I believe the other guy got 4 something.
Yeah.
So what happens is they buy back your smallest stack. So Eric's already made money, so that's kind of nice.
Simple.
That's just a little extra that 701 does. They do a lot of fun things for the community. Today, who are we giving our proceeds to today?
This
you know?
is going to be the curling club of.
5 folds.
I'm trying to remember the city. I can't remember the city it goes to. It's for a curling club though.
Yeah.
Eric will remember. We'll
We'll get back to that. We'll circle back around, but charity events are huge. We like to give back as much as we can. There's they go from fire departments to little kids camps. There's lots of stuff that 701 does for the community.
Graham Burstad here is jamming in 137,000 stack, and that's behind Chase, who already had his 72,000. So we're gonna see a flop here, depending on if Jeremiah wants to get involved. We could have some 3-way
King Jack of diamonds, he might.
Yeah, he knows what he's risking, right? He knows it's 137 to take out 2 players.
Right. Looks like he's got the.
Just made the call.
Yeah, so.
Big pot. Pot of the day. 356,000 in the pot.
Interesting.
That is not
See
how
if
I
the
envisioned
fives will
that
trickle.
coming out. It's not.
That was Chase that stands up in front of the camera on cue. Pretty clean flop. 5s are still holding.
Well,
And 5s. 5s pick up 144K, and then the side pot looks like Graham's gonna pick up the side pot.
Chase is all in at the feature table, pushed all in with pocket 5s,
I'm
got
trying to
called
put
by
everybody on
King
hand.
Jack and Ace 10, 4 overcards, and he fades them all.
Dodges 4 overs, yeah. Gonna have to win some of those flips.
Fourth of my stack was in the middle, and I looked up 5.
Correct.
72.
Okay. And then he goes, I'm like, uh-oh. 9, I'm like,
Sorry, chip stack. 229, 204, 210.
172.
Okay, so everyone is almost all around that 200 mark, with Graham being the short stack right now at 130. John will sort out the main pot, side pot action here.
I was very much entertained. Yes.
I'm Josh, by the way.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,
you know what I mean?
65.
Half the shit
Excuse me.
Yeah, when it gets to that many chips, it takes a little bit to count out.
Yeah, when you got 3 in the hand.
Okay, so what happened? I didn't
Get her sorted out.
Coming in, I gave you the rest back. I took his out first of what he took. I let you have the rest.
How about that awesome barbecue today we had all weekend long by Bigfoot Barbecue? That's on location at the Ramada. You had no reason to leave. Great friends, great food, great drink prices. Today they even went around and gave away some free drinks. So
Yeah,
shout out to them.
and I turned one down, believe it or not.
Oh,
I matched his up first since he was
Hold on,
winning.
that's not what he's saying.
Oh,
It is an all-in, you call it all-in.
I went all in, you called. You're calling both these.
Yeah, but that don't matter.
Yeah, we verbally said all.
Yeah, that don't matter.
I mean, if you
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, I heard
like
him
I
say
said,
all
I
that.
think
How
it's
much was it?
125.
Yeah, he was saying.
By how much was it? Anyway.
well, let's give him back.
No.
I had 74.
Yep.
72. 72.
Yeah,
72.
his
Yep.
match was sitting there.
And I got my
So
72
that's
for both.
136. It's only 11. It's an all-in. He has to call. That,
So he still
Are we
owes.
still, so I lost the action. We still sorting out the last all, or we get all in again? Our graphics are not helping me. There we go. I think John got the pot sorted out.
okay.
As
a
almost,
lot of
I looked
chips.
down. I thought maybe we started over. I was like, nope, we're still counting chip stacks.
That was in the middle. That should not
Yeah.
Chase.
The ante goes to him. Correct. Ante goes
Yeah,
to
what's it
seed
now?
on 8, button on 8.
Yes, button is on Grant.
Thank you.
I didn't see the ante either.
Yep, nope, we're good.
I thought I gave it to you.
I'll just go.
so the
All
situation
right,
like
that took a little
has
bit
to
of
be
time, but
135,
looks like we're on to the next hand. He's shuffling up.
go all in. In a case like that, he's all in. If he says about 125 and you say call, that's a call for the
All in a call, as they can hear behind us. I don't know what's going on at that table, but
It could be the bounty tournament was getting a little crazy out there. I walked through it for 15 seconds and I had to grab 3 stacks of chips, and they were burning them as fast as I could find them.
One of my stackers in the middle. I saw the first
all right, let's look along. Mark has ace 8 of hearts. Eric Kimball has king queen of diamonds. Eric DeWitt has ace 3
One,
offsuit.
two, three,
Looks
four,
like he's
four.
gonna get out of there.
Did you post
5
yours?
raises.
Yeah.
25.
Shout out to Eric
My
Anderson.
name, but it didn't.
7
And
fold,
the,
8 fold, 9 fold.
Information that he has for everybody and all the electrical equipment that he has set up here. It's pretty marvelous to be able to play on the feature table, but if you're at home watching,
10 calls.
okay, that's good. Yeah, it looks like we worked out all the bugs yesterday and the day before, so.
Great.
Check.
Looks like
Check.
the flop is Jack, Jack, Queen.
Two
So
players.
that gives Eric Kimball 2 pair. And now another
10
nine
bets,
of
25.
diamonds. Looks like he's gonna put a bet out.
5 folds.
Get all my peeps to share the pages to get more action out there. Looks like 7 minutes left in this blind level. It shows you the chip count. Looks like Eric Kimball's in first place. John Hagan right behind him. Grandma's at the bottom. So we'll see what happens in the next hand.
What's the website for Eric? Is it the feature table or the final table?
The feature table, I believe.
Okay. I know.
Yep, the feature table. Yep, that's what it's about. Alright, let's take a look. Look like Eric Kimball got another hand back to back.
Two
Pocket
folds, 3 folds,
threes.
4 folds.
Chase Lardy has ace jack of hearts. I expect him to call or.
Yeah, I actually just dealt a level or two to Eric. He had been picking up some
9
big cards.
raises.
It's like
25.
he's gonna continue with the small pair and see how this one runs out for him.
Right?
10 calls. 1 fold.
Looks like the small blind folded. Oh no, he did call. Well, 7, 10,
Check,
10.
check.
Pocket threes are still in the lead. No hearts. Doesn't help Chase out.
25.
10 bets,
So
25.
Eric's gonna put a little bet out.
Nine folds.
Yeah, this should get through. Flop, check on the flop. Is that how
Right.
that ran?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so once it goes check on the flop, Eric's gonna have
Blinds
to.
are 5 and 10,000 for another 5 minutes. Hoofda.
Yep, 5, 10, 10. So the pressure will continue.
On the screen now, for those of you viewing, you can see how many big blinds they have and what they have in chips on the way right column. Obviously that changes every hand, but see what Eric has cards here.
Yep, under the gun. Little pocket pair, 5, 5. See Graham back there with ace jack and the
3
hijack.
raises.
So Eric
27.
decides to do something. He's probably gonna pick up a little bit
4
of
fold,
action.
5 fold.
Queen 10 might call too, you never know.
10 of hearts from the big blind. So depending on the raise, if they get the right price, they might see a flop with queen 10 of hearts.
All in.
Eric does raise to 27,000.
See, they goes all in. 9 folds.
Graham goes all in.
Okay, Graham just rips it in. What was the total? 130,000.
Yeah.
Eric's in for 27, 130, stack of 183. Yeah, he doesn't love fives here, but he knows he might be flipping, but that might be his best case.
That's what he's thinking about.
Yeah,
And he folds.
I thought he would. It's just too many opportunities for sixes through aces to be in that hand, and your best case scenarios are flipping. So, and he has enough chips; he can fold there.
Yeah. Welcome back to the room, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, so I went to get some coffee, and the coffee maker was out of coffee, so
It was straight water?
it was not straight water, it was muddy water. It looked like I was in Flint, Michigan trying to get a drink of tap water.
So we ran into a couple issues. The coffee maker's out of coffee, and then last night the
ATM.
money maker was out of money.
Yeah, the ATM was out of money. Even this morning. Well,
It wasn't for me.
No,
it was
I
just
think-
random people were trying to get money out
Yeah,
of the ATM.
I think Emily wanted it to play in the tournament today.
Oh, somebody please ask me next time. I can
5, 4, 5,
large amounts of
7
cash
folds.
for that
8
reason.
folds,
Okay.
9 folds.
Nobody cares. It's public knowledge.
10
I'll be at a major tournament, and
25.
people will come up to me because they're over their ATM limit or something,
yeah.
and they'll PayPal me or Venmo or Cash App or whatever, and I'll just
Yeah.
have the cash because I'm not going to turn people away from a tournament.
That's always kind of been the situation in the poker group, but now it's even easier. Like you said, with Venmo and PayPal, it's like
It's not I owe you anymore.
Yeah,
It's like, oh hey, let me Venmo you.
You don't have to go home.
$100 right now.
you don't have to go home that night trying to sweat. Is like, should I have given that guy? He had a few drinks, maybe I should. Hopefully, he remembers he owes me that money.
Looks like we have 4 people in the pot.
A little in pot. No, someone called 20, so someone been
Look
raised.
at that. Eric is a genius. Eric Kimball.
3 checks.
Not a ton of stuff for everyone else to have here, but
We've got some backdoor flush draws. Josh and Jeremiah both.
yeah, club or a spade might pique someone's interest.
And Eric's got a draw. I don't know what he folds because Eric Kimball already has it. He's a smart man. He folded it.
Yep. And Eric only let out for 30K, but the blinds are big enough. People are kind of been playing. I don't know. I haven't been watching all the time, but I got the feeling dealing that people were playing them pretty snug. They were trying to feel their way out and figure out what exactly is going on here in this day 2 situation.
Well, we mentioned this in earlier flights. There's 207 entries. 15 people are getting paid, and there was some grumbling that was a small percentage. But the way they do it in the 701 Tour, since it's a 150 buy-in with a 150 re-entry, North Dakota Gaming allows a maximum of $300. So they don't go by how many entries, they go by how many unique people, which was closer to 100.
Yep, 107,
So
I think.
it's basically a $300 tournament with 100 people in it, rather than a $150 tournament with 207 people in it. So that's where they got that 15 players getting paid number, which, you know, before they told me that, I was like, wow, this is really
tight.
shallow and top heavy. And then it makes sense once he said that.
Yeah, the downside is if you don't do the math that way, you get yourself in a situation where your min cash is going to be right at or even under 300.
Right.
And now that guy might have $300 invested, and I min cash for a loss. So that doesn't feel good either.
Do you know the charity today? What we were
What's the
giving?
curling club? It's is it Hillsborough Curling?
All
right, now I have to know.
It's always nice to know.
What did I tell you yesterday? If you don't know something, you go ask Corey. He's usually got it down. It is the Grafton Curling Club. I had the curling club part.
Eric Kimball with all of the chips and queen, middle position.
Yeah, I was telling Dallas I dealt a couple levels to him and he had picked up some big hands. It looks like he got a small pocket pair right before you walked in. He got that through, and now
He's going to get Jeremiah to call him.
a little something more to work with.
Ace
5-4. 2 players.
Mark's get out of the
Hands
way.
up to the flop. Way behind. He needs exactly an ace or some straight cards. It looks like all face cards. He picked up his jack, which might be trouble for him.
Right, you might think it's good.
He adds 1 out.
Alright, main tournament blinds are up. 6,000, 12,000, 12,000, 6,000, 12,000 big blind, 12,000 big
Well, it
blind.
might slow Eric down because there's a king out there and he just got called.
Once again, we're wrong. Any bets?
Yeah.
I was going to say the
But
same thing.
This is more of a blocker bet. It's only 25K. It's like a 20% bet into it was 125 before he bet that. So now it's 150. So it's more of a blocker bet because he doesn't want to check and then have to be put to the decision when Jeremiah bets 75.
I said
I hope nobody.
I said hello to Jeremiah outside on break, and I thought he said he was up to almost 300K, so he must have had some misfortune in the last half hour, 45 minutes, because the stack is sitting at about
2.
It's gonna. I bet you it works because he's afraid of the king.
Right.
He once Eric checks the river, he's afraid of the king.
Right.
And you're sitting on a 321K stack.
Do you want to give Jeremiah 84K?
And
No,
the
he's gonna
pots
fold.
are ready.
I'll bet you a drink he folds.
Well, I'm going to buy a drink anyway, so I might as well take that bet.
All right. And I would say it's the right fold.
Yeah, he's asking for a count, so he's contemplating it.
It could-
The spade hit.
Yeah, that's another thing he's thinking
he's
about.
calling with a flush draw or he's calling with a king. Either way, that's the worst card for him to see.
Yeah, the straight draw's not really in the picture there because
He's not worried about the straight. He's worried
it's
about
a
two spades.
runner
Yeah.
situation.
Either he flopped
Although you have-
king and you were never ahead, or he was calling with a flush draw and he hit it. Either way, I'm out.
Although you do have one of the spades, one of the big spades that you could have pre-flop. So you call the raise. What's he calling a raise with?
Ace jack of spades.
Ace
Well,
jack's
is
out there.
Ace 10 of
He's
spades.
got the queen in his hand, the king's out there. So now you're down to ace 10 pre. I mean, that's
10.
ace
Some
9
people
probably
might,
not.
it was only 25K pre, so I might call it ace 5 spades.
84 was right.
Yeah,
Some of the cool
you
kids
could,
are doing that
you
now.
could still make it straight with ace 5. You know.
Nine to call.
Well, he's really
And then
thinking
he
about
turns
it.
the 5, so that's equity, and you know,
Yeah, Eric's certainly not
it's
Hollywood
such
man.
a tough spot for sure. I think he's gonna take, and then just fold. And like I said, it's the right fold in my opinion.
Yeah,
Oh,
50,
Without knowing Jeremiah's cards. It's
40 or
right fold. Did he call?
oh my! Big call.
Wow. Okay, I owe you a drink.
I said I was buying either side of it, so I think I still owe you one.
Oh, and,
I'll take
We
one,
got a
but that-
couple in the well from last night.
and
Wow, what
Eric
a
is for
call.
sure the chip leader now.
Yeah, he's got almost 600 left fighting.
Yeah,
Wow.
very good match.
I think part of it is that there's not a lot of aces of spades left.
He took long enough. I thought he was going to take a long time because he was just mad about folding and then fold, which is what I would have done.
Which
I
a
would
lot of people do.
I would have got mad, thought about it, and then folded. Where he actually put all the pieces together and said, I hope you don't have a king, I call.
Right.
And maybe he's looking at if he's wrong, he's got 240 and he's
Yeah.
comfortable doing it.
If I'm wrong, I'm still chip leader.
Yep.
I can lose half my stack. It's nice when you lap the field. It gives you all sorts of options.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You can make bad
doesn't hurt.
calls.
Yeah, because Eric's sitting on 580k at this point.
Great,
You know.
great play though.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have worked against me.
Right.
All
So we
in.
got pocket sixes. Eric went all in.
4 folds. 5
Eric's
folds.
ripping.
He got ace 10 to fold. King
This
5's
gets on.
not calling. All right, pick up the blinds and ante, which are substantial right now.
30k, right? Or 25k. Unless that went up, we missed a
They are at,
still. Oh,
Oh,
612.
612 blinds went up.
so he got a
So
little.
it was
And a
30K.
$12,000
was
ante.
accident.
That's
Yep.
huge.
Yeah, he just
Holy.
picked up 30K.
Okay, so everyone's kind of in the same group for one
I
average
said
of
he
15.
lapped. He not only lapped the field. I don't think anybody else is playing.
Maybe he'll go out for a smoke.
Oh man, he could.
All right, Eric.
Yeah.
DeWitt picks up ace queen here. He's
Yeah.
gonna look to get some chips
A
in.
jack. 10 for Eric. King jack.
Sevens in the small
1
blind.
fold.
Oh, jack 10. Eric Kimball folded. I thought he'd play that hand.
All in.
Open fold. You did open fold.
Eric
No,
DeWitt's all in
there we go.
again.
All right, he's gonna
Pocket
run to the
sevens.
2 sevens with Craig. I don't know Craig.
Neither do I.
I don't call with 2 sevens there. You're
It's all
hoping
in his
he,
chips,
he
too.
would be flipping.
Yeah, the difference might be, I think we know Eric better than most.
fold.
And I'm not calling Eric in this spot.
8
He's a
folds.
grinder, that's for sure.
I mean,
They said
that's probably the bottom of his range jam in there with ace
Did
queen.
he just show that?
No, he flipped.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
I mean, he might have showed someone that flashed a little bit, not on purpose. Not like last night. Everyone wanted to
Yeah,
let
last
you
night
know what I was
everyone-
doing. A lot of
Now-
advertising.
In my position, because so many people want to call me, when I do have it, I like to show it like I have it. I always have it.
Well, he showed the last two where people folded, so maybe
Okay.
he's just making a.
Eric has a ton more. That Eric has a ton more street cred than either you or I do.
Yeah. No. Everybody calls me.
Everyone wants to call.
Nobody's probably gonna
fold.
play this hand anyway.
1 fold.
King Jack left already. Ace Deuce.
3 folds. 4 folds.
Might have seen the flop with King Jack, but
5 folds.
It's a rookie hand.
right? No one's raising.
7
Might raise
folds.
with it. Folds around to me.
8 calls.
Yeah, if I can get it in late position.
9 checks.
If it folds to
2
me, I might
players.
be able to put a raise in, but otherwise. So small blind competes, chase checks, finds the ace, and a gutter ball for Graham.
9 bets, 28 checks.
Double gutter ball.
Niner and king. I like the double gut. That is so disguised when that 9 hits.
Sneaky. What does that say? 23 players left? Is that?
I think it said 25, but my eyes are
25?
bad.
It was 25 when I came in.
Okay, so it's probably still 25.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think they dropped another 2 players. Probably not because no, they definitely dropped at least 1 because we watched him bust.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I was going to say they're going to at this stage keep the tables exactly balanced. So when we lose a couple players, we're going to get somebody. But we lost a player off of this table. So
I'm not sure if I screwed up or not. But.
Big turnout for the bounty tournament out there.
Yeah, it is. What do they have? 4 tables back there?
Yeah, we were scrambling for. We thought we'd have extra dealers, and then we were
I had to
scrambling
sit
for
here and
dealers.
talk by myself for a while.
I was. We thought this morning we could sneak off early, but the people just kept showing up, and the ones that busted decided they want to stick around, and that bounty tournament kicked off. Just
Yeah, they
in
had
time.
alternates for just a little bit.
Yep.
Before they could bust a table in the main.
Greg Gray on for 173, and this is going to get through.
Tenfold.
Even with 556K, we ain't trying.
Yeah, you don't want
we
to
ain't trying
give it.
We're not trying to punt off 175, but.
Seat 9 the button.
Shout out to all the amazing dealers who stuck around Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Multi-event to deal. Awesome for them to give us a great weekend. It's fun to play when you don't have to worry about chips and cards and whose turn it is.
I'm going to get yelled at because I know I probably burned through 4 or 5 decks. I put them on the rails.
You don't need
I spin them too hard, and those rails aren't tight to the felt, and there's like half a deck worth of cards in these different tables that you can't get them out. I'm like, new deck.
We won't let him deal at your table because those are expensive.
No, but his rails will stop them too.
Yeah.
No, but he shovels like a King Kong.
One time, I was
Wham,
nice.
wham, wham, like, whoa!
I was nice after that. I was
Yeah,
nice.
he's like, oh, be gentle. This deck costs $200.
I'm just trying to. Players want hands. I'm just trying to
we were in
crank
a
them
hurry
up.
here.
There's a balance. King, Queen, King 10, and Cadillac. Another gun +1.
Your hand per hour is greater
4
than
bets.
the average dealer.
Right.
32.
Had a few hours behind the dealer
5
slot.
folds. 7 folds, 8 folds, 9 folds.
So how long does it take you to set all this up for an event?
It will take me working alone. I need one guy to help me carry the table. Other than that, I can set it all up in about 3 hours.
Okay.
Testing everything.
1 fold.
Set up all the cameras and make sure the internet. The hardest part is like taping down the cables and stuff like that to make sure people don't trip on them and make it safe.
Heidi make a stop in here today?
Heidi started here.
She started over
She
here, okay.
started with me because she had a couple of hours to kill before the bounty tournament
I
started.
thought I heard her walk by and she said, I might be able to stay out of trouble, so she came in here.
Yeah, Heidi and Joel Clipping were in here for the first 90 minutes.
And I knew you were in here, so I was like, Heidi, you're not completely out of the woods. Like, you might still find some trouble, but you're probably still safer
All
in
in
there
from
than-
C5.
We had fun. Mark's gonna pile it in with 6s.
7 folds,
I
8
don't
folds,
think he's going to find
9
any
folds,
resistance.
10
Yeah,
folds,
I don't see anything there that I'm going to put up a fuss with.
1 fold, 3 folds.
Joel, what's Joel end up doing right now? Is he?
He's in the bounty.
He's in the bounty. Okay.
He came in early, so it was Heidi and Joel here for a while I was.
It's a good combo.
Yeah, it was. I like it. And then the bounty tournament started after the first break, so I had to come in here and talk by myself. Stepped out for a cup of coffee and found 2 railbirds.
I saw you walk by with him. I'm like,
Jim
Eric's,
and Mike.
Eric's getting after you, recruit.
I was like, hey, what do you? I asked them. I said, are you guys alternates? And they said, no, we're just waiting. I'm like, you want to commentate? And they were local guys, so they knew some players. And the gym, Mike was quiet. He just sat in the background and
He's a
didn't say a lot. But Jim was insightful. I like that.
Cool.
9 calls.
Local FedEx driver.
Okay.
He's the one that had the waxed mustache yesterday, so I was confused. I was like, so what flight did you play? He goes, no, that was my brother. I
Yeah,
said,
there's twins
no,
here.
because the mustache was waxed. That's how I know the difference. He says, oh, I didn't wax it up today. I said,
No.
you gotta pick a theme and stick
Yeah,
with
man.
it the weekend. You can't mess with me like that.
No.
Looks like we have 3 to the flop.
Chase gets the best of it.
3 checks.
Should end quickly, Chase.
Yeah, he got actually all of it because nobody else.
9 bets, 17.
They've got backdoor options for a flush or a straight, but really nothing. They're not going to play.
Yeah, Chris and Eric are going to step outside the lane far enough to cause a problem there.
It was really fun watching the last session. Cadillac came to the table short stack. Very first hand pocket threes, doubles up. Second hand pocket kings, get some more chips. By hand 12, he had pocket kings 4 times.
He said
And so he went from 0 to hero.
So I just dealt him at the table before that,
And he was
picked
on
up
life support.
He picked up a couple chips, but yeah, he's just floating around. Then I caught him outside, and he's like, "I've had kings like 4 times."
He goes, "I love this feature table.
It's funny.
Makes me look like a genius."
On his way in from outside, he's like, "Yeah, I don't really like it that much, but it is what it is." And then he goes there and picks up kings 4 times. So his
So
opinion
happy.
greatly changed.
Yes.
8 fold, 9 fold.
Someone needs to go talk to John. We need some bigger, badder cards than this to work with. Yeah.
3 fold.
Play a little short deck.
Pinochle.
You know, have you ever played short deck?
Yeah. Not just messing around.
Right,
nothing
just
yeah.
home game for fun.
Yep.
The software has you click on home deck and then changes the ranking where flush and straight and full houses are messed around. But we can play that, and it makes a much more exciting game for sure.
High stakes players. That's their game nowadays.
Jam.
They like
yeah,
it.
they don't want to mess around with the 2s and 3s.
It's like Mark got here for free in the big blind, then flops the queen.
Chris has got a little piece of it,
Yeah, Chris
but he's
will lay
not
it
going to
down.
stick around.
He's gonna give him a little speech, but he's not gonna play that third pair. Blind on blind, random kings, random jacks, anything in the hand.
I think I checked call, just float one time to see if they're messing with
See
me.
if you- see if
but
they tap
if
the
he
brakes.
knows him, that might have something to do with it. But if I'm early in a tournament and I don't know the person, I'm going to float to see what kind of player I'm dealing
See
with.
how they react. So I don't know if you checked. We talked about Chad. I think it was Chad last night. We're trying to figure out. So this morning I got up and I was checking Facebook and I checked the stream and I was like, well, let's look at the comments.
Yeah.
And I noticed someone had commented, and it must have been around the time. It said he might be a cash game player, and he's not. And they said yes, he does mainly play cash.
Mainly
So
plays cash.
the little one more piece of the puzzle we put together.
Somebody else said, yeah, that was a recreational player move. Kind of like a dig on me for saying that he's more of a recreational player.
Oh.
I think he was, unless he was being serious and going, no, yeah, that was
Maybe,
it.
yeah.
That's what Rex do.
That's the tough part with
but,
chat.
So since you brought it up, he caught me in the hallway.
Chat.
Eric's all in
yes,
with pocket 9s. You might be
against
calling.
pocket 7s.
Yeah,
Eric's got all the chips.
right.
He's made all the right decisions so far. Can you get out of here?
No, he's definitely calling. Well, 200K. I didn't know Eric DeWitt had that many
157 to call, so Eric had put in a raise.
chips. Yeah, I don't call Eric DeWitt in that spot, but I know Eric DeWitt. Just because he's got a really cool name.
Right? Oh, of course.
Kimball
What we
gets
got?
away. Kimball gets away from
Oh, he's
this.
getting a
I
count.
think so. Yeah, I think he's going to get the count and fold.
How much did he bet?
He had opened and 157 to call for a jam of 192.
So what is he getting? He bet like 35?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he had opened for 35.
So it's really close. What are the blinds?
612.
612.
612.
Yep.
He went 30. So he went 3x.
Oh, he folded. Is he gonna
And
show?
he's gonna
He
show.
did.
He's like he wants them to keep folding to him.
Right.
That's what I do.
Right.
Like especially when I've got a run of good cards and it looks like I'm getting out of line, I want to show you. No, I'm not getting out of line. It's the cards. Keep folding. You're doing the right thing.
Because I want to get out of line later.
I want to get out of line later, and I want you to go. God, he showed me the queens. He showed me the ace king. He showed
Always
me the
has it.
flush.
Always
He's
has it.
always got it.
And Eric have played together in many 702 events, so they know their level of play, and it's probably respect too. I mean,
That's what I was gonna say. If I don't know Eric, I might call with 2 7s. Hope I'm flipping. But if I do know Eric DeWitt, I'm folding there for sure.
And chip stacks too. If he was one of
He
the
was
shortest, he would have
That's
called.
yeah.
Fine
That's
call.
why I originally said he's gonna call, and then I went, oh wait, 192. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm folding now.
10 call.
Well, and Eric DeWitt's 3-bet range is pretty strong, even against your sevens for sure.
Yeah, Eric DeWitt's got a very tight 3-bet
1
range.
fold, 3 folds, 4 folds,
I thought he
5
was shipping it over there.
folds.
I thought he was shipping it over there.
And if you're Kimball, you got all kinds of hands you can fold with
Yeah.
500,000.
Yeah, you can.
Look, but he's getting cards though. Holy.
A lot of pairs,
Eight
some
check.
small, some medium. So Chase is gonna call. Chase calls the 12.
With 3 players limping in, I think you just call.
Bring it over flop. Ace 10. Couple.
Jack,
7
10.
checks, 8 checks.
So the 10.
9 bets, 15.
Chase just immediately leads out with the 10.
Small bet, 15.
Barely a blind.
Mm-hmm.
10 fold.
The 2's fold, the king 4 is gonna fold, the king 7 is gonna fold. Well played, Chase. It's just standard.
You figure you got the best of it, and
Yep.
if someone does have a jack, you're gonna hear about it.
Somebody's got the 10, you've got them all kicked.
Yep.
So it looks like we're down to 22 players, right? Can you see that?
Yep.
Looks like 22. So, back to my chat story. In the hallway, he pulls me aside. He goes, "Hey, yesterday, that one big hand where I shoved, and I wanted to apologize to him immediately because I wasn't trying to offend you. Being a recreational player, he's like, I thought there was 2 clubs on the board, and that's why I said, hey, no club, because I got my glasses today.
Yeah, yeah.
But I thought there was a flush draw, and I wanted to blow him off the flush draw. That's why I went 50K with my nuts straight.
Yep.
And it makes a lot more sense now.
10 fold.
There was another hand that I sorted out. There's a hand between Mark Allender and another guy, and I think Mark had Queen 10, and the other guy had Ace Queen, and Mark out flops him with Queen 10. This ring a bell? And the action was
And
weird.
the 10 seed had Ace Queen.
The action we were like, oh, he folds her.
Four
He
raises.
exposed his hand. He thought
He thought they were all in?
he thought they were all in. Ace Queen
That's why he-
exposes his hand.
Oh.
5
Still has a
folds.
big hand, but can't continue playing my hand face up.
Not when you. Okay.
And
that makes sense.
Makes
then.
more sense.
Yeah.
And that's why.
I'm losing my chips there.
That's we both said that. But yeah, I talked to Mark. He goes, oh yeah, he exposes Ace Queen, so
Yeah.
he's playing his hand face up, which.
And that changes things. If I show you the Ace Queen, you still bet. I'm like, oh wow, now this is next level stuff. Now, did you see me? And now you're bluffing me?
Yeah.
And you know that I know that you know that I'm. I mean,
We're getting
all right, I'm gonna
leveled.
fold. Never mind.
Yeah, we're
I'm
getting
just
too
gonna
far
fold.
leveled. I just got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Craig Gray with the 8s, and Mr. Cadillac had raised the 32. Craig just calls. It's not a terrible flop for 8s, but let's see how Chris reacts. He had the lead, took the lead pre-flop, so down to 100,000 chips. Oh. Little sigh, little puff of the cheeks.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with pair of 8s right now.
No, that's Chris. Chris with King 10. He's trying to sort himself out.
Right.
I thought Craig was acting like his 8s were not best.
No. Cadillac
Check,
gives it a
check.
pain check. Craig says spin one.
I haven't played with either of them, so I don't know.
Check.
I played with Chris a little
It's
bit.
gonna go check now. You can't
7 checks.
check the flop and then bet your 8s when the ace hits.
What is that?
That looks
7?
like a
Seven.
brick, yeah.
Check. Greg
More
hopes
check.
he gets the showdown.
7 checks.
Yeah, he just flips his cards up. Says, I have 2 8s. You beat me with a queen, a 7, or an ace? Okay, nothing. I take it.
Yay. Chris is getting down to that below 10 big stack, so he's
Do
in
you know Chris Cadillac?
Yeah, there's 3, I think the Cadillac brothers are all from up here.
Okay.
All 3 of them played this weekend. Chris and his brother Ricky, and I don't know the name of the 3rd brother. I just met him this week, but they all played. They play quite a bit in the Grand Forks area. Sometimes they make it down to the Fargo area, but there's the 8s again. Now he has the 8s.
Now he's got the 8s. Let's see if he does better. I'm going to predict Chris wins this hand.
Eric can open in front of him, maybe. He's counting chips.
Craig Gray might be in it too.
he piles it
Three
in.
bets
Eric does open in
31,
front of
calling
him.
in from 4.
Eric DeWitt might have to call here. What do you go to? You raise the 31. Chris is all in
It's
for
gonna
100.
be- Yeah, it's gonna be 70 to call.
Folds, 9
70 to
folds.
call off your 238 stack.
It's close. I think Eric doesn't call. I think you or I might call, but Eric's a much better player. And he snapped it.
I think that's
He
the
snapped
right
for
call.
like 2 seconds.
There's too much in the
Right.
pot. There's
Yeah.
160 in the pot.
I thought he was
It is a big moment for your tournament life.
right. And he flops it.
Well, maybe he knew that. Maybe that's
Maybe
why.
he
Oh,
no, he didn't know about the turn though. He didn't know about the turn.
So that
I'm gonna say if we do the math, it's gonna be so close. I think he was correct. I didn't expect him to call though.
I think it's
With King Jack.
yeah,
Yes,
math,
there is a blue one.
game theory. Why I think it's the correct call.
I don't catch screw up too often.
It doesn't put any more chips back in the stack, but I still think it was the right call. But I
You're
wouldn't.
lying in bed at night thinking of all the mistakes you made. Don't lose sleep over this one.
No.
Right? He won't.
Because I think this is the right play. That's what I would have done.
I also wouldn't have been surprised if Eric DeWitt lays it down either. But it's just that close.
I thought he was going to. Where it's close enough, I lean towards the side of calling. He would lean towards the side of folding. Is my read. That's what I think, but apparently not because he did call.
Right. Well, and that's the theory. Is there can I find a better spot for my chips?
Right,
Has the field dwindled enough that the players are solid enough, or is there still some spots where I think I can take
Yeah, I can
advantage of the
pick these
situation?
guys up now. But yeah, the pot size, he's already got 30K invested, so it's gonna cost 70 more. Like all of those things added up to let me make this call. I hope I have 2 overs, and I do.
Well, and I think
Hope I'm not up against Ace King, Ace Jack.
Chris Cadillac caught him on the very bottom of his opening
Right,
range.
right.
Eric's opening nothing less. I mean, that's at the bottom, I would guess.
One checks.
To the point, I was a little bit surprised he opened with King 10. Looky here. Mr. Kimball continues
10 bets 20.
The run good
to
is
figure out
real.
this game. You know, he doesn't have to beat much, but you know.
We can see if it's gonna come.
He's got a pair and a straight draw. Flush draw. He's got the open and straight flush draw.
Thanks, guys. I'll pick up a 24K here, 24K here, 24K here. Just let me know when you're not interested, and I'll just clean the table off and pick up those
Pick
chips.
up all the pots that nobody wants.
Orphaned, the orphaned pots. So Eric lost that big pot. What does that leave Eric DeWitt? So he's still sitting at 145,000 in the small blind. Okay. So he's probably going to be pretty snug for this next lap because he's getting the button next. He has some hands to look at.
He's in the big blind.
He is in the big blind. Okay. Same kind of theory though. He just has to eat one more small blind and then some free cards.
7 fold. 8 fold. 9 fold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
10 fold.
He's got 9-3. We might get a walk. He does.
He does. You predicted that one.
He does.
Wow.
That's big when you're sitting on 100 and what did you say, 160,000, 24K pots.
But small blind might have thought Eric might have went all in and he'd be short anyway.
Yeah, he didn't want to risk it.
Eric just got a walk. Do you believe that? Craziness.
What's small blind have?
It was terrible. Like
Yeah.
6 deuce, 8-6, something.
Yeah, that's Josh taking it.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. There's some
There are
people,
22 people left.
there's plenty of people out there that they ain't never giving you a walk out of the
Right.
small
I
blind.
actually, I've started raising the small blind instead of folding. It's more of a high risk, but a lot of times the big blind will fold to you now.
Mm-hmm.
And if they just flat, now something silly comes out and they never put you on that hand.
Right. So we had open. Someone opened here. Graham raises ace 10 to 31K. King Jack's pretty hand. I don't think we're gonna need 244K stack in the hijack.
They are still raising a little bit more, than what I expect.
Nine fold.
Because we were at 6, 12, 12.
12.
10
So
fold.
like,
24, 30, so
I
3x
guess
would be
that's not
36.
bad. It's just like
2.7.
in the later stages, more people are raising.
One fold.
2.1, 2.2, 2.3,
barely a bit
2.4.
raise, you know,
Yeah,
just a little bit.
it kind of depends on what the table sets as the raise.
Yeah. And it's funny when I'll show up to a new table and they'll be going 7, 7, 7. I'll change it to 9, and all of a sudden it goes to a 9, 9, 9, 9, 9.
nine's the
Is
raise.
that the new line? Okay.
Yeah, you get up towards the end there, the raises kind of become 2x plus whatever the next smallest chip is, a couple of those, 2x and some change. That way that big blind feels like they can fold, because I didn't get min raised. I can still take my pride home with me.
Right. Yeah, I'm fine.
King 10, ace 9.
7 fold.
So the big blind with king 10, not a bad hand if you're gonna wake up in the big blind.
10 fold.
Chris with
All in.
Oh, Josh is gonna rip it in for 120K
and the best hand.
with the best hand.
He doesn't know ace 9 off is the best hand, but it is. It's gonna get through.
And Mark doesn't have the chip stack or the cards to make.
And he's got the king 10, so he's gonna ask for a count because he doesn't want to look like a pushover. He wants to make you think about it. Hey, I got a decision. You sure you want to do this next time?
John's gonna count it out, and he's gonna go, "Oh, that's more than I thought it was. Yeah, I can't call that much."
What were you calling him earlier that he didn't respond? It wasn't his name. Mark, right? No. Yeah, it was.
Well, his name is
it's
Mark.
but you were calling him something else.
I don't know. You guys both yelling at him, trying to get his picture.
Brad.
Brad or Adam.
I was like, Brad.
Rude.
Brad. What, somebody touch him. What's your name? Mark. Oh, you don't answer to Brad?
I think I asked him, why don't you answer to Brad? What do you got against Brad's?
What's the problem? What's your problem, Mark?
5 fold.
Yep, there it is.
But a lot of times that he makes it, because you don't want people to think you're just gonna roll over and wet on yourself, and just fold every time they raise. Give them a little bit of stress.
I really thought about it this time. If you do it again,
Yeah, boom! I might snap you off next time.
You know what? I'm tired of it. I can only take so much abuse.
I can't take no more.
I can't take no
You know
more.
who that is?
I do, and I can't get it to.
I've had all I can take, and I can't.
I
take
am what I
no
am,
more.
and that's all I am.
Yeah.
Popeye.
We're
Where-
old enough to get that.
Where's your next event that you're?
Dallas,
featured
Michigan.
in?
I don't have anything in the calendar yet. I have a whole lot of venues interested as soon as they're open. Colorado just opened up a couple weeks ago, and they said, give me a month to get in the swing of things, and then we want you out here. I've had a few events in Vegas that have contacted me and want me, but I'm like,
Okay.
tell me if this is in your budget, and we'll talk. And
Right.
they're like, oh, is that per day? I'm like, well, no, for the
7
week.
raises.
And like, shit. Dang it.
I mean,
Yeah.
every 2 days.
Yeah, I'm like,
Every
oh,
2 days.
yeah, that's per day, So my rates are honestly way lower than they should be. I've been told.
But you're trying to build up and pick
Well,
up a clientele,
I
and
live
you're
in
figuring
Bemidji.
it out.
I live
Right.
in Bemidji. I don't live in New York. I don't have to pay $3,000 a month for rent.
And we talked about you don't have a big crew you have to pay most of the
I don't
time,
have
and
to pay 3, 4, 5, 20 guys to run this thing for me. It's me driving out there, setting up in a couple hours, and running it for the weekend.
plus you make most of your money hustling people on dice
I
and,
just
and other
hustle people on
activities.
dice. I win free drinks all the time.
Right,
So
main
I don't have
tournament
a lot of
lines
overhead.
up.
Not a lot
Next
of overhead.
hand,
Top of the line equipment, though.
I play the
16,
CCR game.
16,
Credit card roulette, so I don't pay for a meal.
That's true. I've seen you get stuck a few
Oh
times.
man, I got crushed recently. Yeah, if you follow me on Facebook, go to #TheGratuityGame.
It's
1
fun.
fold. 3
So
fold.
wait,
4 fold. 5
the wait
fold.
staff loves it when I show up.
Right. I've been with you on a few of them.
It's good times. Good times.
Not much to write home to mom about here. Queen Jack, 10-9, 3 deuce. Big blind with 10-9. Under the gun. Another gun called? Just call with Queen Jack, another gun there?
Graham hits middle pair, but Chase,
Wow.
in the under the gun, has top pair.
9 calls.
What's your thoughts on that, Eric?
7 fold.
You're sitting
Players.
8-handed. And 232,000 with blinds at 6 and 12. You're under the gun with
9
Queen
bets,
Jack
20.
off. Where's that hand end up? Where's it go for you?
That's such a weird spot. Under the gun, I'm probably not playing Queen Jack, but a lot of it depends on table dynamic. You know, if you've got a lot of people playing pretty straightforward and not getting out of line, I don't like calling there. I want to raise.
Yep.
And like we said, if we're at 16, I go 35. You know, double and some change.
Yeah, it's
So I
kind
go
of
35,000.
it's kind of where I was leading. I think.
That's what I was saying.
I think they.
I don't
for
like
me,
calling there.
I think they find the muck more often than they.
How
they
does
see
Eric
flop.
DeWitt have the highest pre-flop raise at this table?
No idea.
26%.
It gets more complicated. He has the highest pre-flop raise, and he doesn't have like 800K. Because if you tell me he has the highest pre-flop raise, he keeps picking up aces.
Let me
You
check
know,
this out.
Aces,
Yes.
kings.
He's also got the highest VPIP.
Explain what that means for the viewers.
VPIP for the viewers. Good way to say you don't know what it is, but let's. VPIP stands for voluntarily put money in pre-flop. So how often are you calling when you're not in the blinds? When you're in the blinds, that doesn't count. But when you're not in the blinds, how often are you putting money in the pot? VPIP. So that's a online geeky term. So if you see their VPIP, standard should be between like 18 and 22 is about normal. If you see people getting out of line, they're like 50, 60%. They're constantly calling everything. They just want to limp into every pot. Your PFR, as long as we're sitting here talking about nerdy stuff like this, PFR is pre-flop raising, and Eric is 25%. So whenever he calls, he's raising. So when his VPIP is 32, so let's say he sees 10 hands, right? He's folding 7 of them. He's getting in 3 of them out of the 7 with the 32%. Now, out of the 3 that let's pretend he gets in 4 to make the math easy.
One of them.
His PFR is 25%. So he's raising 1 out of the 4 times that he called. Or he'll call 3 times, raise once, fold 7. Is how that math works out. So if you see that, you see his aggression. Wow, this is crazy. His aggression?
He's very aggressive.
31%. We got Josh down at 5%.
Right.
So his.
I hate being at his table. He's very aggressive. You two play well together because
I was gonna say
you're right up there with him.
My read on him was he was a more tight player.
Tight aggressive.
Yeah,
tight aggressive is a very good word. Yes.
Where he's folding a lot, but looking at now, this is a very small sample size. This is 33.
Right.
So and. I would have to go back and look at the hands and go, oh, well, that's why you're raising. You've got the king, queen. You've got the ace, jack. You've got the pocket nines. You know, you've got all these hands that dictated that you're raising and you're coming into it. You know, you have to really have like 1,000 hands before you determine what somebody's doing.
Draw some conclusions.
So this is a very small sample size, but over the last couple of years, boom! And as I'm telling you how tight he is, he just rips it in with ace 10.
With the best of it.
And he does have the best hand.
And that guy already put in a significant amount.
Well, he raises 153. It's only 113 to call. So Craig raised 40K from the hijack. Eric rips it in with ace 10, which if I'm not sitting here looking at the hole cards, I'm putting him on better than ace 10.
Even on the button?
In the big blind. He's in the big blind.
Or big blind.
Big blind.
Yes, true. I like your statement then. That's not the big button. That's
not the big button. That's the blind button.
Yeah, I know 701 upgraded their button sizes, so I thought maybe it was
a little bit bigger than the normal one. You know, you go to the Monoman Casino, they got the small button, but this is the big button.
Yep.
Yeah. So Craig raises to 40K, folds around to Eric in the big blind. He rips it in with ace 10. If I'm Craig, I'm folding queen jack
I
suited.
dealt to him for about 45 minutes, and I think he finds a fold here.
Yeah, I think so.
7 folds?
Let's see if Eric shows.
No. That's not good enough to show.
Leave that in the holster.
That's not good enough to show. If it was ace king, he shows. But you don't show ace 10 there. If it was 10-10, you show it. But ace 10 was not good enough to say I had it.
Right.
You know, ace king I'm showing, pocket tens I'm showing. I'm not showing ace 10 there.
Well, blinds just went up. We are. Look at those big blinds. 7, 8, 9, 11.
Ooh, Eric puts pressure on these guys.
The oranges are getting squeezed here real
he
fast.
can handle himself though. He's cashed in MSBT and he's catching a lot of these 7-1s.
Yeah.
He's definitely
No,
a
he's
contender.
crushed my games. My
fold,
my
eight
you know
fold,
my 50-player $200 buy-in
ten
games.
fold.
He comes up and crushes them.
Chris picking up 9-9 here in the big blind, and Eric in the small blind with King Jack's probably
I
going
can
to find
see the
himself a
same
little
thing
raise here,
happening.
right?
Yep,
Ooh, a
he's
big
gonna
raise.
raise.
And now we're going to
Chris
have
is going to rip it in.
We're playing for
now.
stacks.
What's Eric going to do?
I think he raised
think
enough
he
that I don't
calls.
think he can fold.
No,
What did
I
he
don't-
raise to? What did Eric raise to? Looks to be like 70 or
It's a
80.
lot.
I mean, it was a big raise. He raises to 80, and Cadillac's got one. Yeah,
He goes
73.
73.
Eric's got 73 on the feature table. Chris moves all
I
in.
priced myself in.
Yeah, I accidentally
And
bet
Eric
way
calls
too
with
much.
King Jack
You know, he
clubs.
was
Chris
just
has
going go
pocket
away.
nines.
Right.
Yeah.
And Cadillac woke up with a real
Flop
hand.
comes
Now
king,
he's got
10,
two overs and he
8.
outflops him again.
Put
All
in
right, Cadillac has
cards
two
in
nines.
the
Can he do it
situation
again?
here. See the turn.
Eric's like,
Can
oh,
he
Four,
hit his
only
two outer
9
again?
and 9 only
All
will
right,
save Chris
two outs
on
one
the
time.
river.
This is what 6% looks like.
7
And
on the
Eric's got the right
river.
amount of. It was a 7 out of 9.
Wow.
It was close.
Chris is
Woo!
21st.
big open race from Eric.
It
there.
was. I think that was just a go away.
I think he didn't think the big blind had a hand either. You know,
Exactly.
small
Well,
blind, everyone
yeah, yeah, yeah.
folded,
That's-
trying to make a move.
That's all that was. I mean, that was basically I'm all in, go away.
Got to be careful though, because
Yeah, because he wakes up with 9s and now you're
Right.
flipping.
I
through your
guarantee
stack.
next time you walk out and you talk to Eric, you're like, did you love having to call off a bunch of chips with King
No,
Jack? He's like,
I
no.
mean, I like that he didn't
Line
tank
still
because
8,
he knew he
16,
had.
16, 8,
Price himself.
16,
He put in a
16
big
down to
stack.
20 players.
I'm all in. Ah.
Now
Oh.
I am all in.
I don't love this, but I know I have to do it.
Yeah.
And he didn't tank
16
for 3 minutes before doing it. He knew the right move. And
Bet you
all
same
of a sudden
same
he's got-
spot comes up. I bet you he counts out a
let's-
regular raise
yeah.
and make sure I don't price myself into
Yeah,
something
for
I don't want
sure.
to see.
I accidentally did that one time at the President's Day tournament a couple of years ago. We got to the final table, and I didn't even have my backpack off as they're dealing, and I looked down at 2 9s, and I just grabbed a stack and put them out there when it folded around to me, and the big blind
all in.
shoves, and I'm like, oh. And I looked, oh, God, I put out my big chips, and I call. He's got ace, king, flop to king. I'm out in 10 plays or 9 plays, whatever it was. It was so frustrating.
Didn't get to sit down. Didn't get to
Yeah, I
drink.
didn't even sit down. I was like just taking off my backpack.
So we'll just call you Boots from now on. Backpack.
Boots. backpack.
Drops one Dora joke and just
One-
walks back out.
one Dora.
Just drops the mic, leaves
Bing,
the door.
as Joel Clipping just popped in to say hi for a second. Didn't even say hi, just made fun of me.
Takes a stab, leaves. Eric with ace 8, ace 7's out there.
Swiper, no swiping.
No swipe, don't swipe.
We used to say that at the poker table. That was our Dora line. Hey, swiper, no swiping.
That's 41.
I expected Mark to do something here.
Yeah, Mark's got a big hand for the small blind.
Yeah.
King Jack on 112 stack.
King Jack suited.
You know, wow.
Ace 8.
Eric
cut
Kimball
off.
raises in front of you, and you know he has all the chips.
I don't want to. Yeah, that's a good fold. I don't want to go head, but when I've got 427,
Okay,
the
so-
one guy I don't want to fight with is the guy who has 462.
Right.
Yep.
What do you think's gonna happen here?
7 fold.
Eric's gonna really regret what he's done, and he's probably gonna make this crying call.
Yeah,
10 calls.
and the ace high is gonna hold.
Exactly what he cried.
He's so excited that he's ahead right now.
Yeah.
And Eric's like, you died, it's holding an ace.
It's really good for Eric. It's really good for Eric.
Yep, didn't change the outs, but it wasn't
It's
bad.
really good for Eric.
Eliminated another player.
And
Wow.
Eric picks up
And
100.
Mark did nothing wrong.
No, short
King
stack.
Jack suited, short stack. Let's get it in. Eric just had too many chips.
Is mostly folding that hand and not putting in a raise there. And I think he just hadn't played enough hands, thought he had some credibility built up. And
Yeah, his pre-flop raising is only 8%. So
and you're telling me one of those was a 7. It's probably at the bottom that he's opening
They
with.
must be moving players in,
and
maybe?
he goes up to 40 big blind. Are we on break already? We can't be on break.
Everyone's doing a mass
There's no
exodus.
shot we're on break.
DeWitt's done with the game.
Yeah,
Screw
he
this,
just
it's
moved
over.
out.
I'm just-
He might have got a drink.
Well, everyone's getting up, but John's shuffling.
Everybody's leaving, except the dealer.
John's like, no, I'm just gonna shuffle.
But you probably talking about that. That's what I'm talking about, right?
No, well, we were at 22. Maybe we did drop
I think we're, well, yeah, they just eliminated other players.
21. Maybe we dropped a few more. Maybe they're at 18 and they're trying to balance the two tables. So it's kind of on a holding pattern.
Okay, we are not on break. You're down to 5 players, obviously, because we just lost one. So they have to wait until they grab a big blind from another table. I was like, what the clock's running, what are we doing? Yeah. He goes, we're 5-handed. We're 5-handed, we need a player.
Yeah, I learned a while ago. I don't even ask Corey what the hell he's doing because usually, majority of the time, he's got it figured out. So. But yeah, I thought maybe we got to 18.
You have 5?
Yes.
Now they are going to take a break. Now everyone's actually gotten up from the table.
That's what I was right.
I wonder what's going on.
I didn't think
I'm gonna go find out because
I think they might have called a 5-minute break. Cause I thought I heard Corey in the background.
Oh, do I tell you my drink?
What was the name? Chad Manning. Chad Manning.
What's the last name?
Manning.
335. 335. 195. 330. 335.
Well, I appreciate that. There's always next time. I know.
Feature table.
Yeah.
Go back
We're
to your
just taking
seats.
a short break to even out the
You got your
tables.
6
I'm gonna
players.
go
We'll
get
start again.
Eric something to drink, and we will be right back.
Josh.
So I'm still at that button 5?
Yes.
Get 16. I'm taking the 16 in. I'm going to go.
Okay, we have a new player. They brought in Chad Manning with his 335,000 chips. Put him in the 9 seat. He's got pocket 9s when he sits down. This is our boy Chad.
Chad saga continues.
This is our boy Chad. All right, and he's got 335,000 chips.
9 raises 32. 10 fold.
That's what I was calling the other.
That's
I
what
was
it
calling
was.
before.
Chad.
Yeah.
Yes.
3 folds.
Doesn't answer the chat out there.
He doesn't answer the chat.
Not well.
Apparently he did.
Craig Gray with 149K and Ace Jack in the small blind. Facing 8 open.
From a new guy who just sat down.
Min raise open.
Yep.
8 folds.
And
2 players.
just make a call here. Just gonna make a call and see a flop. Proceed from there.
I like this flop if I'm Chad.
Yep.
Chances are you don't have a queen.
Ain't hating with Gray. I got 2 clubs. I got a flush draw, ace high.
I love it if I'm
9
Craig.
bets.
Yep.
52.
And
I got the nut draw.
chips are gonna get in here, right? That's 52,000. I have 125,000.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now Chad's like, wow, did you really just check raise me with queen? I guess I called. How much is it?
Yeah, it's 273,000 in the pot. You want me to call another 73?
He makes this call. He's like, well, unless he goes, you really have a queen. You just check me, raise me with a queen.
That's a decision he has to make. Is is this guy able to make this move with a flush draw, or is it always?
If I just sat down, I don't know. I'm going. Okay, the queen makes sense. So you call me with ace queen, you flop your queen, you check it to me. I bet. All right, never mind. I'm out.
Yeah, he has no reason not to believe him yet, right?
And it's still.
But he
Oh,
calls.
he calls. Okay. I was gonna guess that he calls, but I could definitely make the argument for fold.
I doubted you.
And he's flipping for stacks right now.
Nice hand, Chad.
And he comes up and heads. Nines wins.
There it is.
Tough call.
Chad,
Chad.
running
Boom.
500.
Welcome to the table.
24K.
Are we gonna have to pause to get another player?
John's knocking them out left and right. Just send some more people. Send reinforcements.
Go.
Go ahead.
Oh, we did. They broke a table, and now we're getting in a whole bunch more. There's my boy Brett Kuznia.
Mike there. Mike was close to life.
Mike Columbus in the
Yeah.
2-seat.
I dealt to him for
We're
a
getting
while
a
and
whole new table.
spun up some chips.
It's gonna be fun. Now, what we need to do is John obviously needs to not start dealing.
Let Heidi.
Let Heidi type in everything. It's going to take me 30 seconds to type in everybody's name, get exact chip counts. And there's Brett with 157, Mike with 442,000.
I think Heidi's safe because she can probably get it typed in faster than the players can tell how many chips they have, so she can pace it.
Yeah, you got that. Yes.
Remember Robert from yesterday? Queens, back-to-back queens and jacks.
Hold on, Robert.
Raises neither of them.
Oh, yeah. Folds them both.
Folds them both.
Yes.
Robert, no phone.
So I was dealing today, and he's sitting in my 10 seat, and he mentioned that.
And this is Robert in the 7?
Yep. Right here, yep. And he mentioned that. I said, yeah.
Playing horribly.
No,
We didn't say that.
We didn't take that line.
No.
He's like, part of the reasoning behind it was he's like, I was comfortable with the chips I had at the time. I didn't feel like I needed to play a huge pot. So I smooth called, took a flop, and he figured as long as he's willing to lay that hand down after someone shows some aggression on the flop. I played a small pot. I lost.
Lost the minimum.
I'm gonna pick up. Yeah, that's exactly what it said. Is I lost the minimum on both hands.
I don't think like that.
No. Well, and he doesn't always play them like that. I played with him before. He knows there's a.
Did Mike Columbus just open folds 2 7s
7-4
in the hijack?
In the hijack.
No, excuse me, the under the gun.
Still, well, we filled up the tail, but still, that's tight. That's
2
tight.
7s, he just open folds.
Big calls, 9 checks.
I guess that might be why he has 442,000 chips, and
We're back here.
we're sitting back here.
It's not out of the question.
KK5.
Flush draw.
Graham picks up a huge flush draw.
Paired board. Played flush draw. Paired board.
19.
Made myself
Steve.
sad.
It's always dangerous
Many times.
because, like yesterday, when he hit his flush against the guy who had a boat, King of Clubs would be an ugly card right now.
Some jerk commentator
I
called for a
heard
king
that.
of clubs.
I heard that guy.
Probably should get a little stab. Maybe a short.
All right, we got 16
But Josh
left,
can't get
so
played.
hand for hand, you guys will play the hand at the
was
same time.
recipient of
If a player busts at the table and just one, they are out. If 2 players bust,
Was it
you will split 15th place.
The other guy.
If it's on separate tables.
Just
If
everything
it's on
went
the
wrong.
same table, person makes
Nathan.
Everything went wrong for Nathan last night. I mean, and then he tried to force it, and it just didn't go his way. Because at the same time, everything was going wrong for him, everything was going right for Mark.
Mark was hitting everything, and even the guy to his right, that they got into a couple hands. And I spoke with him, the Queen Jack, 10-9, King Queen of Clubs, Jack 10 of Clubs, that hand were like,
Talking about his
What happened there? Yeah.
so he was at the table, the first table I was dealing, and we had talked to him a little bit afterwards, and he's like, I don't know, I had a few beers, so I couldn't really explain myself. Last night I just kind of laughed, and he goes, here's the deal, Same situation came up. My friend is like dumped a whole bunch of chips. The last hand of the night.
16th place is $300. Go ahead, shuffle up
I
and
just
deal.
wasn't looking to lose my stack. When I have to
Right.
survive one win,
Oh, my
I put
friend.
chips in the bag. I get to go to bed. Eat breakfast, redraw some tables, and play with a good stack. Right?
Just let this hand go.
Waited in line and they lost 20 players for a drink at the bar.
Yeah, we,
I was like, wow, what happened?
Well, they broke a table, filled our table, and the first hand broke. We lost a player.
Okay.
So we're back to 8-handed.
I just brought him his drink and I'm like, holy, they're hand for hand. I was like, what's going on here? I missed so much.
Oh, they're after hand, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're down to 16.
We are on the money bubble with 2 tables left.
So I don't know that.
7
I
bets.
know that Eric does, Eric Kimball, with a big stack at this table, but this is a spot where you can kind of lean on some of these small
I
stacks.
definitely am punishing everybody.
And like you said, the medium stacks
Yeah,
are the ones
I'm
you can
punishing
really
the
lean
medium.
on.
I'm not trying to target the short stack.
Yeah, maybe the 151 and the 157, we just leave them alone because they're probably just going to have to play it. But the 217, lean on you a little bit.
Yep, the 484, you're feeling the pressure. The 442, the 427.
Yep.
If you're in the blind, we're going to play for stacks.
And if I get too much resistance, then I tuck tail and run a little bit.
So here we have Graham. Just all in for 140.
Graham moves all in on the feature table for 142,000 all in. Robert Urbach in seat 7 calls with ace queen, and
Yes,
Graham has
that's
queen jack.
what I was about to say.
fold.
But
Looking
yeah,
for one of
it's,
those 3
on the bubble. That's what
jacks
we're talking
to,
about right now. He's on the bubble with his
spades.
jackets. Goes into
Flop
the
comes
bubble.
8-5-4, only 1 spade.
But
Needs a
Kimball
lot of
called
help
the
here
chips.
for
I mean,
Graham.
but still, you're not trying to.
Spade comes on the turn now.
Flipped.
He needs one of 3 jacks,
Is it a
one
flush
of
draw?
9 spades, so about
So Graham has a
25%
flush draw.
chance
He
for
needs a
Graham to
queen,
double up.
jack.
Four,
Not a queen,
clubs
not a queen. A
are
spade or a
river.
jack.
Fives
Doesn't
and
get
fours
it.
with the ace will win it for
We're done.
Robert.
Ace high wins,
I
and the
believe
bubble is over.
Looks like Brett moved into the...
Brett came into the 5 seat with 157,000. Average is like what, 300?
Okay.
So who did we just lose? We just
Graham is our 16th place finisher for $300.
Was it Graham?
Yep.
Graham.
Graham. And we watched him play for a long time yesterday. He plays pretty snug himself, solid.
But he had a decent hand on the bubble, shove with it. I don't hate that. He got ace jack to fold. Ace queen was just at the top of his range.
Never calling it off with queen jack with some. Just your standing rule.
I don't do it. I don't chop it.
It's hard to argue with someone that is consistent.
I just never do. Because I tell people, paying the bubble does not eliminate the bubble. Paying the bubble moves the bubble.
Money.
7 fold.
And then as a joke, I say, wait a second, let's call that back and give him $20. And then the other guy, let's give him $10. No? Then let's not do this. And in my smaller tournaments, if you're playing a 125 at Northern Lights and you pay the bubble $20, now you're paying a $100 turn with $20 rake turns into a $100 turn with $40 rake. Like, no, I'm just not going to pay the bubble.
Keep him on his toes, Eric.
You got it.
And then I don't chop.
Never. Even when you get the better side of it?
If I can get a super silly side of it, I will, but most of the time, if people are trying to be reasonable, I'm not reasonable. I'm not gonna make a reasonable chop.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
Then I gotta keep Eric on his toes.
I thought that was your job.
Three folds. 5 folds. 7 folds. Oh.
45.
9 folds. 10 bets 45. 1 fold.
Versus King Jack.
The field is coming back to the, Mr. Kimball's been at the top of the ladder, but now we got 480s, 440s, 420s.
Yep, it's leveling out now.
The pack's coming together.
Now, after this hand, I'm gonna pull up the pre-flop raising in the VPIP. Eric, with all of those chips, he's only got a 7% pre-flop raising.
Wow.
And only a 14% VPIP.
And one of those 7% was A7, which we were a little
Yeah,
surprised by.
and that was like wow. And that's because he'd fold for the last 17 hours, so he wanted to do something with an ace.
Well, either folds or bust someone.
Right.
It's pretty
Yeah.
simple methodology.
Yeah, I like it. Now,
Diamonds out there, no one's.
he just let out.
Mike
Rebel.
does.
Now, if he knows Mike's a snug player, so I'm
And he
going to
does.
bully
He
Mike
folds.
all the time.
And he knows Mike,
I don't know. All right, let's check out.
which is part of the reason why he folds.
Yep.
Mike should have some of that.
Let's see your VPIP.
Well, he raised and Mike folded.
Oh, the other way around.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, if I know Mike is snug, I'm gonna
Makes a
put
little more
pressure
sense. I
on
was
him.
like, really? Mike found a bet there?
Yeah, no. Yeah, Kimball with the chip lead
Yeah.
knows Mike needs a big piece of this to stick around, so I'm gonna put pressure on him.
Yep. We'll catch one more hand, then we'll make him deliver it on his promised statistics.
Oh, yes.
Next hand.
We were too busy talking. And now here we have Mike Columbus, who we were just talking about being snug, has 2 7s, which he folded under the gun.
Now he's in the small blind with the same hand, and Robert's going to find a raise here.
Yes, he's going to make it, what, 40?
That's 42.
8, 16, 32. Yeah, 40, 41.
9
Right
fold,
there,
10 fold.
42.
1 fold.
He's going to fold around. Mike's going to fold. He's not playing 2 7s.
What's Mike's stack? 413? Yeah, this goes in one.
He's going to think, I hate folding pairs, but I'm not calling.
Unless he thinks Robert's been getting out of line, which I don't think he has.
He just sat down, so he doesn't know.
Never calling.
Call.
And
From
call.
C2, fold
And
C3.
Now, Robert can steal on any flop that does not have a 7 in it.
Yeah, and I mean they were together on a previous table. I dealt to both of them, Mike and Mike and Robert.
This is a very close one. There's only one overcard to your 7s. I think he check calls here. Mike lost.
Oh, he does have the 7 diamonds.
No, 7 diamonds is not a factor for Columbus. Even if Robert
It goes check.
Oh, now he might find a bet call. If he checks a turn,
It's a dangerous check on the turn because you don't have a diamond.
2 bets 50.
now this is a bet. That was the only way Robert was getting any chips. Bet 50 call. Yep. That was turns out to be a genius check on the turn from Robert. That's the only way he was getting any chips from Mike.
I don't find it. I don't find a check there.
No.
It was a third diamond. I mean, is he checking to get chips to make a bet on the river? Or is he checking just because, well, I don't want Mike sitting there in the weeds with 2 diamonds?
I think if he knows Mike's betting 2 diamonds. I think.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can see.
so back to what I was talking about. Here's Eric Kimball's stats. So we've got Eric Kimball in the 10 seed, chip count 684K, chip leader at the table, 17% VPIP. We were saying 17 to 23 is normal. A lot of these people, like if you look at Robert over here, he's at 40% VPIP.
Maybe I'll just.
That means Mike Columbus is 60. Now these are
Okay.
skewed a little
we don't have
bit.
enough hands. Yeah.
These are skewed a little bit because they played 5 hands and he's called 3 of them.
10 fold.
So for those guys, we have to get a bigger
Now,
sample
Mike
size.
Kimball or Eric Kimball's stats will still be based on all the hands. he's
Eric
played here.
Kimball's is based on the last 43 hands, which is still not a huge sample size, but it is more relative than
up, guys. 10,
than Mike Columbus's 5 hands.
That is the blinds up bell. I think we heard.
Lines up.
5 what?
5 checks. Check,
You got the
check.
4-6 suit against the 7-8 offsuit. I like Eric's chances if anybody wants to bet me.
Check. Check.
Oh hell no! I bet you it just goes check. And go-
Oh, I liked Eric's chances until Brett hit the. You know what?
Uh-oh.
Depending on the bet size, Brett still might find a fold. He's got like 4th pair, no kicker,
You just bet like 35K into a 48K pot. Oh, more than that.
32K.
That's a good bet.
So
5
tough.
fold.
Yeah. I mean, you got 4th pair. So like I said, with Eric's aggression and Brett's, how I know both of these players, I would put money on Eric winning that hand.
And they play together, so
Yeah,
you know.
and I'm surprised it took 4 streets, like all the way to the river before Eric fired.
Right.
If I'm up against Brett, I fire the flop.
Yeah.
I ramp it up on the turn, and I pile the river. And he folds at one of those times.
And blind versus blind.
Yeah. I could have anything, you could have anything.
Right.
And Brett had the best hand the whole time. Pairing his 8 meant nothing to him. It was 4th pair.
And
So he still folds.
Brett's wearing a pretty tough set of handcuffs, working off this 115K.
Exactly. He can't give away 50K going. I have 4th pair. Is that any good?
He's looking to make one bet, play one hand.
Yep. His one play, except for the big blind, was all in. He's folding now. He's not putting in any chips that he doesn't have to without an all-in bet.
3 folds, 5 folds.
So Chad Manning calling with ace 10 out of the gun.
7
Just
folds.
calling
I like a raise there.
for the 20K.
Yeah.
Because now he's opened himself up
Yeah,
to the
now
chip
Eric
leader.
raises and now you fold. You fold ace 10.
Yeah, it's
9
2
folds.
big stacks. Fighting it out.
Which folding ace 10 was the correct move. But I would like to raise, and now king, queen, or king jack,
What's your
or
pot?
queen jack, whatever he has, that just calls behind you instead of raising, and now you have to fold.
Or Eric might just lay it down.
Right,
Maybe
but
not.
he's not 3-betting,
No.
and you get to see a flop, and that's the power of aggression.
Now when I do that, I raise with the ace 10, then I run it into the queens or kings or backfires.
I raise with ace 10, and the guy playing slots calls. Everybody calls when I play.
So we got Josh Hagen and Brett Kuznia are gonna have to find a hand they're willing to go with here real soon.
Chad Manning.
Did I just see 10, 20, 20?
We are at 10, 20, 20.
Yeah, like real soon. We're playing between 5 and 6 the big blinds.
Brett might fire here on
We're
the
in the
button.
money now.
Right. I think we have
So-
14 players.
Yeah, so I mean the next 4 players, it doesn't matter. You're not trying to ladder
Called
up.
it.
Yep.
Figured Brett would push now. He's gotta get called by Ace Jack, you think?
From Mike though,
How much is it? 95K, a third of Mike's stack?
115,
I would not be surprised if that hand finds the muck.
115 total, 95 to call. Ace Jack. This is so borderline. You pick fold or call. I'll take the other side of it. That's how
I got
close this
fold.
one is. You
This
got
is
fold?
fold,
All
yeah.
right, I'll take the call.
I don't know him very well, so I don't know.
Mike and Brett are the same person.
Okay.
They're both. They play premium cards. They don't get out of line. Brett shoving with 115 was stack dependent.
Right.
Where
100%.
I have a suited ace, I'm gonna get in my last 5 big blinds.
Yeah, I played with him earlier.
Now
last
Mike knows how snug Brett is. So he's going, I hope you have 10s or worse. And we're flipping.
Mike got down to a shorter stack earlier today and built it back
You're right,
up.
I owe you a drink.
And he's just not. He's not trying to get rid of a third of his stack because I know how he got from A to B, and it was a grind, and he got that 309, but actually hit a river
Would
card
you-
to save him.
Would you put Mike on a raise there if he didn't go all in? Would he have raised?
We're all shocked.
Yeah, I think Mike has to open. Mike has to open with the ace jack there.
I know.
Because what was his position on the table in the hand?
Mark, when I shot in with ace 10, he's like, this is what you over with ace 10? Clark 5 big blinds. What do you want me to do, fold?
So
Ace 10 when he's got 5 big blinds.
Mike was middle position.
Okay.
Mike called, Brett shoved.
Oh, so we know the answer. We know the answer. Mike just called with ace jack.
Mike calls with ace jack, Brett shoves with ace 7 suited, and
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Columbus folds. Now he's +1. He was +2. So he was middle position with ace jack. If he raises, Brett folds ace 7.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
when he limps, Brett looks down at suited ace and shoves.
Brett,
Also, if he raises, Brett shoves. Now he's priced in, has to call, wins the hand.
Brett's not looking to get any chips in the pot other than
No.
him putting them in voluntarily or having a huge hand and having to call.
And he shoved in over the top and you called it ace jack when you only 50K behind, like full.
And knowing Brett,
That's 60.
I would have thought his range did not include A7.
9 folds.
No, chips
You know,
in
so
play.
that's why I
That's
folded.
right.
That it would have been a very terrible.
And that's why it's a good fold on Mike's part because he thought for sure Brett's got a pair, I'm folding.
Right.
I don't want to flip it.
I actually said clubs if it makes
Stack sizes are just really shallow, so it's
A7 suited is
you're playing off 5 bigs, 9
below
bigs.
his range that I would have put him on. Shoving.
So Eric, with your infinite wisdom,
You want to see?
I talked to some other people about it in the past. What is your strategy, or how do you change your game? It's been like this for a couple years with the big blind Andy.
Right.
What's different from the regular tournament when we got small big and everyone's putting their ante in every time, and the tournament where it's the big blind Andy? Do you change how you think about a 10 big blinds?
What I've seen, yes, definitely. What I've seen is most people are defending their big blind wider, which is good because most people were folding too often and not defending enough. So now they're defending more because psychologically they went, well, geez, I've actually got 20,000 in the pot, not just the 10, and so they're defending wider than they used to defend.
Now, how about from an all-in or fold perspective? Are you jamming with more or less big blinds than you used to? Is there an adjustment there?
What I see now is jamming before the blind hits you.
Okay.
Like instead of little bite, little bite, little bite, little bite. Like if I can see all these free cards, you know, from the dealer to the hijack and all these spots, and if I can jam +1 or under the gun before it hits me, I'll do that so I can pick up all that extra change.
So you're almost flipping around from playing your table position early and late to I'm playing the what's the blind
middle
coming position.
I'm shoving earlier before the blinds hit me.
I can see that.
I do too.
Because it does make a difference. I personally like it
Sunshines on a
because
dog's ass every
I
now
dealt
and
enough poker that it's
Wait,
nice. I
hold
don't
on.
have to.
I'm sorry.
As a
Ante,
dealer,
ante,
it
ante,
speeds
ante.
up the game, especially when we used to have the 75 ante level.
You did. I was
And
9
guys threw out a 100 chip, and we're
Can I
like,
get-
okay,
the guy with
I
all
need
the
8
guy with
quarters.
the guy with the 25 is
Yeah.
looking at his phone. You're like,
he's
hey,
got
I
a
need
stack
change.
of quarters over there. So it's really nice from a dealer's standpoint. It's really nice.
Got a hand
we
here.
get more hands per
Something
play.
could happen here. Eric with the
4s and
5-5 and
5s.
Kuzny is all in.
Now Kimball with the 5s and all the chips,
He's made a lot of correct decisions.
he's gonna call.
Does he find the call here?
He does because he knows Brett's got less than 200K and he can be shoving with A7. He doesn't know that, but he can be shoving with anything. Eric hopes he's flipping,
Yep.
but he's gonna call because he has 885,000 chips.
And Mike doesn't find his way into this pot.
Mike never called. Ooh,
Not to fold
ooh,
there.
Brett picks up another one that he shouldn't have had. No, for sure.
2 fold.
You're wrong enough times. I have to. I'm not declared victory yet.
Brett just stole another with 4s against 5s. Eric Kimball holds 5s.
Really?
With all the chips.
That's what I
Fun
did
on
over there.
C1?
Everyone kept folding.
I put down
Thank you.
Eric thinks he's flipping, calls with 5s. He actually has Brett down to 55.
Easiest game in the world.
I had the best hand. Maybe one of them.
All right, I'm gonna go check on some stuff.
Ace king. Yeah.
Yes, it's
So apparently, Twitch is still streaming, but Facebook cut it off. So I'm going to go reset it.
Okay.
Well, that's like. I mean, that's.
Thanks for those of you that let us know. We want to be able to see the final 14 or 13. I don't know how many are left.
It just go down, or we don't know.
I don't really know.
Even if you get called, you're really that far behind with that hand.
I just told them.
And a lot of people overfold.
When you're on commentating, you're not watching the videos, so we don't know.
9 fold.
Yes, we do. Now that I checked my messages, I've
Oh,
also been
oh,
text
yeah.
messages that hey, the video ended.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry guys, we don't really have our
10 bets,
phones here.
75.
Eric Kimball is pocket queens. Don't expect any of these guys to call.
Eric just with a
Fold.
never-ending stream of
Oh,
pocket
he is
pairs.
so lucky.
And some of them he's folded correctly, and some of the other ones he's played correct. I mean, he's
Making some
been
good
running
decisions.
some good cards, but he's making good decisions on the backside.
So we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, Eric will sort it out.
Still 3 tables into the bounty tournament. That's craziness.
Well, there's some chips in that tournament because I think everyone was like, wait a minute, I can rebuy twice? They're
Right.
like, bah, 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 bah. Last time to fire at something this weekend? Yeah. Let's go, let's
It's a
go.
great weekend. I've had
Oh,
so
and
much fun.
Mike finds a hand to play. Not sure he's going to get any action with that, though, although...
10 fold.
Okay, so we have a break in 20 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm going to let this finish out. I'm going to go post on the Facebook page to go watch it on Twitch. And in 20 minutes when I restart, we'll be back up. But I don't want the people on Twitch to lose the last 15 minutes.
Fair. I got a few texts, so I'll just text them back that Facebook down and Twitch is up.
Yeah, watch the stream on Twitch and YouTube. We're both up. On twitch.tv/the feature table.
See that?
You're still good on YouTube also,
Yeah,
you said?
YouTube is also good.
You can tell.
Facebook, cut off the video. Watch
He's
the
just nice and doesn't use
stream on the feature table.
Oh, they have an hour max on Facebook, don't they?
You know, because
No?
I've streamed 2-hour videos before.
I don't know why I remember that.
So I'm not sure what's going on. But we'll restart in 20 minutes on break period.
I think it's the weed that need to.
Appreciate the viewers letting us know.
Yes, thank you.
9 fold.
My Columbus with King Queen. I don't think anyone.
Kick win the cutoff, yep.
10
Keep
fold.
those hippies out.
Did you post it on your page?
I posted on the stream that people were watching. So anybody who was watching the stream would see it.
That's Mike's play here, Eric. It's probably going to be... It is unopened to him on the button with
2
King
bet
Queen.
60.
Finds a standard raise here, right?
No, I think he calls. Oh, he does raise.
Raises
Good job,
60.
Mike.
5 fold.
And it'll get through.
Yeah, I prefer to see him raise there than call him.
Yeah, his VPIP just went up.
Yep. Yep, just trying to get his stats up.
Let's go.
Now you can get signed by the pros if you don't
Yeah,
get
his
your stats up.
pre-flop raising is now 21%, so 1 in 5 hands.
Nearing maniac status. Well, it went up even more because the hand before you didn't see he had aces. So the last 2 hands.
That's why it got up to 20%.
Yeah, the last 2 hands he's picked up some big hands. And while you're gone, Eric Kimball also had queen, so his streak of picking up pocket pairs.
Oh, and he's got 935K. Did he bust somebody?
10 fold.
I don't think he busted. I think he picked up.
just picked
How'd
up
the queens
5?
end?
I don't know. I was trying to
that
figure
was
out.
our
We're
text.
missing like 3 players. And he's
Five
got
bets all in.
935K. He only had 500 when I left.
I was told there wasn't even going to be a quiz
Fold.
Right?
or math.
Open test, open book test. Brett's
Cool.
got 8s. He's all in this time with a
Lose
real
me.
hand. Now, Brett has fortunately had 2 people lay down wrong.
Correctly fold.
And then he had the 8s, which held up. So he's picking up the blinds and antes. He went from 125 to 225.
That's what aggression buys you, though, right? You can get some people to fold incorrectly.
Yeah, get the 5s to fold, get the ace-jack to fold. Be behind both times. We totally crushed both times.
Turns out there was a weird spot with that ace jack that Eric Kimball had that someone had acted and called out a turn, which makes Eric Kimball's fold of ace jack make more, it's more standard because at that point you're not trying to get.
I was talking about when Columbus called with ace jack and Kuzna shoved with ace 7, and then Columbus folded his ace jack. And Kuzna now has ace jack.
Speaking of the ace jack,
and it's going to get in, and it will get through this time.
doing your other ace six,
Two folds.
It's going to fold around to Brett. Brett's going to shove. It's working for him. Why would you not keep shoving?
5 goes all in.
well, he's doubled up.
7
Yeah.
folds.
He's all in again.
9
So it's going to
folds.
work again. He's going to pick up the blinds and antes again.
Which is 10 to 50K.
Yeah, 50K just like that.
10 folds.
He went from 225 to 275. Actually, he went a lot further than that without having to see a flop.
Yeah.
50K
Yeah.
twice. He picked up 100K in 2
Yeah,
hands.
he was just over 100K when he sat down. Now he's almost 300.
I don't think
He's still short stack at the table, so he's gonna keep that move going.
I don't think the field wants to see him get a lot of chips. He's a solid player. He can navigate. So if he can accumulate some chips.
In 2013, when I was touring with MSPT, he had, I think, 6 final tables in a row.
Crazy.
Just a ridiculous number.
Yes, statistically,
He was.
it just shouldn't happen.
He was this close to being Player of the Year. He needed to finish in 4th place, and I think he got 5th.
Oh man.
But he's a player you want to
Five
play
folds.
with. He's a good poker player. You learn something at his table.
Yep.
7
I'd agree.
folds.
People
9
texting me
folds.
bad beats now. I don't care.
Oh.
I never care, but especially not right now.
10 folds.
Eric Kimball finds a call. The small blind is 6 deuce versus
Checks.
Mike. Is this a product of him knowing Mike, and Mike's not going to show any aggression back unless
Yes,
he finds
yes.
it?
You're getting a free flop,
Yeah,
and you're gonna flop the deuce.
you're fairly
Check.
confident. You're not getting raised there unless.
Check, check.
10 checks.
Oh
Time to change. You're still gonna check it.
no, with the 10 now, Michael bet. But it's an easy fold because Mike's not getting out of line. Mike's betting with the best hand.
You got 4 pair, and Mike's got the best. And you got in for
You got in for nothing, half
small
price.
blind.
How many computer tables do you have?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
That's why.
Although he has adopted a,
I didn't ask.
I'm going to think about it posture.
No, I didn't.
Not a, I'm going to
I
fold it
would have
immediately
refused
posture.
both days. You want to play on the feature?
I want to shock you here, Eric, but I think we were wrong again. Is he going to find a raise? No, that's 40.
Calls.
It's just a call.
I thought that was an easy check fold situation.
Good hand.
And now it goes check, check on the river because Mike's, you know.
I think if you're going to make that call on the turn, that queen comes on the river, you take a chance to steal it.
What? I don't know what
He
Kimball
loses
was
one hand.
thinking. Why would you call that?
From
With
air.
your bottom pair.
Mike's on air. And
I've
not
got
off
him beat up.
Or, you know, near,
If you know Mike, he's not betting here.
no.
That's never happened.
I do. Call me with
Right.
a pair of 2s and you're right half the time.
Well, yeah, I don't have enough fingers to count the number of times I got correctly called.
Yeah. With king high.
Yeah.
I only win when I do.
What's he doing?
Being silly.
I can't do it by beating.
Just being silly. I don't know who that is. He's
I don't
just
either.
walking around
I
like,
don't
hey,
either.
look at this. We got cameras in this room.
He's probably, I
We
don't
got
think he's
computers back here. Let me
Right
talk
over
to
asking
Heidi.
Heidi stuff.
got any learning books?
Here's
Seven
where I
learning
yell at people when I'm doing that and they walk up and start talking to me. I'm like, go away.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm working.
1,000.
Heidi's probably nice enough that she did like actually talk to him for a minute. But I'm
Kimball's
like, go
taking his short break from not having a pocket pair to picking one up
poor guy.
again.
2 more days.
He folds 2
10 folds.
Mike with
2
a angry
folds. 3
fold.
folds.
Erickson got out of the way with 8-4.
Well, Robert, what we don't know what his hand is, he raised 31K.
He raised
And everybody folded.
31K off of 518.
So he must have made it 51. Because it was 31 for Eric.
Oh,
for the big blind, so 51 total.
And Erickson folded that.
It says 13 players.
Okay. Kuznia probably rolling in his all-time high for this tournament. I don't.
275. I don't
was
think
over
he got
275
above
at
that ever. What's the average stack right now? What do we have? 12 players?
12 left, correct.
All right, so we'll do some math really quickly. We'll go 207 times 25,000 divided by 12 equals 431. And he's got less than half of the average.
10 bets 50.
So there's some chips at that other table.
2 folds. 3
Oh,
folds.
for sure. Yeah. 1, 2, 3,
5 folds.
5, 6. 6 out of 12. So it's probably even if you count them all up because Eric's got 2 stacks. Robert's a little over stack. Mike's right there. All right.
10 minutes left. Still sitting at the 10, 20, 20. Here, where you going? You getting drinks?
I owe you one.
I owe you several. Double Crown on the rocks, a beer.
Hey, if they're gonna make it
Sure.
difficult for me, they won't. I gotta return the
No impressive hands.
Nine
She muted now.
folds.
There's evidence that
Right.
drinking on the job.
10
Yeah, nothing
folds.
big here. So what position? Who's got the button? Button's A6. So that's Eric.
2 folds.
Folds around to him. You might find a little raise here. Try to pick up the blinds. It's a lot of money in those blinds. So you might make a little raise. Nothing crazy.
3
There it
bet.
is.
35. 35.
Has to be
Gotta be
big blind's
40.
got a lot of chips though. He might play.
5 folds.
He does. 6-4 is so bad and you're out of position.
I would call you.
I think Robert just throws him the muck. He's like, nah. Find a
7
different spot.
folds.
Took some nice blinds.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's 50K just to raise your button and pick up the blinds.
I go around fast six-handed, so.
Yeah, 6 and 6, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so all the players are just kind of sitting there and they don't, no one's super deep, so everyone's just, man, can we just get to 10 or 9? I don't know if they're doing a 9 combine or a 10 combine today, but everyone's trying to, they just want to get to the final table so they have a little more breathing room, see a few more hands.
And there's still 3 in the bounty tournament.
Is there?
Ooh, we're gonna
Some
have
big
some
hands
action here. King Jack,
Sevens.
King 10,
That's
Ace Jack,
50,000.
sevens.
A7, 3 deuce is the only hand that's doesn't have anything we're thinking about.
3 goes all in.
Ace Jack to get out of the, or Ace7 to get out of the way. All in. Who's all in?
Eric.
Where's okay, so Eric rips 377 in with
Fold.
Ace Jack of Spades.
9
Sevens
folds.
quickly fold. Robert giving him some respect. Okay, that's what we missed. Eric Kimball had opened. He had opened to 50,000. So it's 327 more to Eric with King Jack of Diamonds here. And I think Eric is going to think about this and fold it.
Good fold.
But they play together too. That you really, really pay attention to that.
And he has to. Eric just has too many chips. He only raised to 50. Has to go away. That's a semi-interesting hand.
Yeah.
Did I miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, Eric
Kimball or DeWitt?
DeWitt just ripped his stack 477.
Wow.
With Ace Jack of Spades.
Somebody raised to him, or he just
Someone
wanted?
let out
Kimball
at
had
50.
opened for 50K. Eric rips the stack.
That's the one guy I don't want to fight.
Robert
Right.
is sitting behind him with sevens. Angrily snap folds them. Kimball thinks for about 12 seconds and puts them in the muck.
I'm
See, 2 goes 50,000.
chip leader raises, second chips
3 folds,
shoves,
5 folds.
sevens finds their muck very
7
easily.
folds.
I'm mad about it, but yes, it does.
You left
He was.
yourself, right?
He was mad.
10
I
calls.
just want to make sure. Couldn't imagine you
A
walking
buck
away.
a drink.
I couldn't imagine you walking away from a.
With your money, a buck a drink. With
On
my
his money,
I would
$4
love
a
it all.
drink.
Yeah. If I'm tipping with your money, it's
It'd
a buck
be,
a drink. If I'm tipping with my
I
money,
was
I'm
hard
not.
pressed to envision you walking away from the waitress with all of the
Jack?
change. Just doesn't add up.
2 bets 50.
No. It was a guy also, so he got a little less. Just kidding. I tip my guy servers just as well as I'm not misogynistic like that.
Mike back in the action with eights. Where we went to a flop. Eights versus
He
9-8.
made it 50K, and Kimball called.
Yeah.
And then he bet on the flop, and Kimball folded.
Okay.
8-9. I don't know if I find a call with 8-9 off against Columbus.
Yeah. So I think Eric is.
Good money.
Unrolled.
You know, he's pretty solid mentally, but I think he lost that last hand, which wasn't big. He gave up 50K, but then he loses this hand, which is another 50K. So it's a slippery slope. You kind of have to.
Right. So yeah, he just lost 5 blinds in 2 hands. He's still overwhelming
Three
chip
folds.
leader
Right.
at the table, and probably in the tournament.
5
I
folds.
don't see too many people having 800K.
7 folds. 9 folds.
If he doesn't like realize he's still overwhelming chip leader, he might think, "Oh, dang it, I'm losing chips."
Right.
You know, if he can sit back and look around and go, I've still got the field lapped for the most part.
2 checks.
Calls almost 10K.
I
small
think
blind.
he's really taking advantage of his small blind, being able to limp his small blind
Yeah.
on a flop.
Yeah.
Because I think he's pretty confident that the range that Mike is going to come and put in
Mike
the raises.
ever raises
super
his
snug.
big blind, he
Flush
he
draw.
knows he's free.
Pair for Eric, or pair for Mike, and a flush draw for Eric. Mike just kind of backs into top pair, and he calls the 40K.
Yeah. King ball. Now does Eric shut down because he missed his draw?
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Mike shuts down behind, immediately checks.
That's the second time this exact scenario has played out, where Mike has picked up the pair on the turn. You find a big bet there on the river if you're Eric. So you bet the flop and you get resistance from Mike.
You can, and it.
I mean, I think you kind of have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps there a little bit, but if you're gonna,
If I'm going to bluff somebody, it's going to be Mike or Brett,
right,
because I know both of those players can fold big hands.
they're good enough. They're good enough to get away from stuff.
Earlier she was like, is it worth it? I was like, not until you get down in that money. You're not going to really.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on Eric a little bit. I mean, he peaked out at what, 865, 890, somewhere in that ballpark.
And DeWitt has 2 8s.
So we've
Against Jacks.
Oh no! Again, now here's the deal. DeWitt knows
Mike-
Columbus.
Michael-
When Columbus raises,
Yep, he has to act first. That
DeWitt does not 3-bet.
it's gonna save him some money.
He's looking at his stack, wondering what can I
Yep.
do.
Yep. How much can I get? How much of that can I get? You know what's a tell? When they look at your stack, they have a good hand.
Yeah.
When they look at their stack, they're worried, how much am I going to lose?
How much is it?
So
But
he's
when-
all in.
Oh, that's easy fold. Easy fold.
Throw him in the muck, Eric.
Bet me.
It was fun.
I need another drink, Dallas.
It was fun. Yeah, it's your boy.
No, I don't want
No, he's folding. He's folding. I'll give you 2 to 1.
Come on, Eric.
If
do
he
the
calls, I'll give you 2
This
drinks.
is the.
If he
This
folds,
is
I
the.
get 1 drink.
This is I want to look at him last time.
It's folding.
Long,
2 to 1.
Long,
2 to
third
1.
time.
3
That
to
was-
1. 3. Oh. Yes.
I miscalculated by 1. It was the third look.
It's the third.
And then
But you're right. If it would have been a player he didn't know, or if he was in the small
If it was
blind.
me, he's snapping it.
Oh, right.
no.
For sure. With a fist
A
bump.
jam. A jam.
A
straight jam for 400.
no, I wouldn't straight jam Jacks. though.
Right. Exactly. But if you made the same
If
play
I raise,
that Mike did,
yeah.
he's folding
If
to
I
a
raise
lot
with
of
Jacks,
players.
he's jamming on me.
Right.
But when Mike raises, it's a real hand.
Yep.
Right. And we are both in the blinds. So
Up the fates against Jack.
What's your thoughts on Mike just ripping?
Playing scared?
maybe.
Like, I don't want to see any overcards.
Right.
I don't want you to come with king 7 and hit a king. I don't want to play post flop. The blinds and the antes are enough, and I just want to
I'm
take it
happy
down.
with that.
Yep, I'll just pick up those. Now Chad makes it 52 with ace ace.
2 fold, 3
I don't
fold.
expect any resistance.
What?
Brett's acting like it's a
Yeah,
huge
like
fold with
like
a
he
queen
just
7.
did something special.
Wow. Man, you got me to fold queens here.
Oh my gosh, Queen High, I'm out of here.
Minute till break, it looks like.
We'll get one more in.
And as soon as we're done here, we're going to swap tables. I'm going to
Okay.
reset the computer. We're going to be back on Facebook. Right now, I hope people are watching me on Twitch and YouTube. Facebook has done that a couple times to me, though, where they just cut out the stream, at, 90 minutes into it. But other times, I'll stream for 4 or 5 hours. Which is why I started cutting off the stream at every break, so
Right.
now it's a
Fresh.
2-hour stream.
9 call.
Because I thought that was a problem, but obviously after 90 minutes it cut me off for whatever reason.
So I just got a really
2
silly
fold,
question
3
for
fold.
Tiny Keith Kemper.
Yeah. He shipped this 2 months ago.
Big turn, yeah, for the 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. He asked me if I
All
was a
right,
big commentator.
main tournament.
Yeah, how am I going to be a
Finish
small
the hand you're on.
commentator?
It's break time. and we're
Eric's
gonna
got the field.
color
cornered
up
on the
all
small
the
commentator.
different
Yes.
chips.
I have to be the big
You
commentator.
have to be the big
15-minute break.
That's the only way it works.
Yep.
If Tyner was in here, he would be the big guy.
He could one up me.
9 folded.
Oh, 9 called.
All in it.
Ooh. What happened?
I don't know. I
Oh,
missed
he
some.
just called 20K.
It was an aggressive call.
Yeah, it was. I was like, wow, what happened? Wait, what?
It felt like you
Brett calls with 7-6 off in the small blind.
It felt like you had just called an all in.
Yeah, it was huge. It looked good. Nothing.
Hearts.
Robert's got a 10. Chad's got a 10.
Ace of hearts.
Chad's got the ace of hearts.
He's got the best hand with the best draw.
Behind bets. 55, 55, 5 fold.
Chad.
You've been researching him all weekend.
I have been.
Okay.
Chad is the player who I didn't want to insult him, but he was like a recreational player.
Oh, okay.
He made some unorthodox plays yesterday that worked out well for him. He's more of a cash game player more than a tournament player. But that's it. And we're going to switch tables, and we'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching. Sure. Let's go, Chad.
A couple hands there late in that.
Oh, Brett. Your reputation precedes you. You stole so many of those.
That's why you. That's